So, picture this, a sprawling estate in upstate New York, all manicured lawns and chandeliers that scream old money, but inside, it's a pressure cooker ready to blow. That's where I found myself, Ellie Carter, just a housekeeper in a Navy uniform, caught in the middle of a storm I didn't see coming. It all started at this fancy gala, where little Sophie Bennett, this fierce 9-year-old in a lavender dress, pointed right at me in front of a room full of snobs and said, "I want Ellie to be my mom." Gasps everywhere, glasses froze mid-clink, and my heart? It stopped dead. Now, Sophie's dad, James Bennett, is this big-shot CEO, all polished suits and sharper pride, and he lost it. "No way some lowlife maid's raising my daughter," he roared, his voice echoing off the marble walls like thunder. The crowd parted, and there I was, holding a cleaning tray, feeling every eye burn through me. Then James chucked his wine glass right at me, caught my cheek, blood trickling down as the room spun. "You're done here, Ellie. Out by dawn," he barked, dragging Sophie away as she screamed. "No, I need her." I stood there, frozen, blood on my hands, wondering how it all went so wrong. See, Sophie and I, we had this bond. When James was off closing million-dollar deals, I was the one wiping her tears, reading her bedtime stories, teaching her how to braid her hair. But to him, I was just the help worse, the black help in a world where that still meant less than. The gala wasn't just a party. It was a stage for James to parade these high-society women, all vying to play stepmom to Sophie. There was Claire, this blonde ice queen in silver, sneering, "You think a maid who scrubs floors can raise a Bennett?" Or Vanessa, an emerald, spitting venom. Her kind belong in the dirt. I bit my tongue, but when they dragged my late mom into it, me mom, who worked 3 jobs to raise mesomething, snapped. "You don't talk about my family," I said, voice shaking but steady, and they just laughed, like I was nothing. That night, I packed my bags, thinking it was over, but fate had other plans. The next morning, Sophie, all hollow-eyed from crying, wandered out to the estate's frozen pond. She slipped, screamed, and the icy water swallowed her whole. I didn't think, just ran, dove in, the cold stealing my breath as I yanked her to safety. By the time James got there, I was wrapping her in my coat, her little arms clinging to me like I was her lifeline. He stood there, staring, his face crumpling as he saw what I'd done, what he'd almost lost. "Ellie, I was wrong," he said, voice breaking. "I'm so sorry for the glass, for everything. Stay? Not as a maid, but for Sophie. She needs you." I looked at him, searching for a lie, but all I saw was a man stripped bare, humbled by his own mistakes. But trouble wasn't done with us. Enter Richard Hayes, James's old boardroom buddy turned snake, who couldn't stand that a nobody, like me, was now family. He wanted James's company, his power, and he wasn't above playing dirty. It started with whispers, gossip columns calling me a gold digger, paparazzi snapping shots of me in town, yelling, "What's it like seducing a billionaire?" Then it got darker, a drone buzzing over the estate, catching me and Sophie in the greenhouse, a creepy flower delivery with a note, "You won't win." James fought back, leaking proof of Richard's scheme, shady payments, doctored photosto the press. At a charity gala, Richard sauntered up, all fake charm. "Nice dress, Ellie. Almost pass for one of us," he sneered. I shot back, "Funny, I'm not the one caught paying off reporters." His mask slipped, ice cold. "You're a mistake, James'll regret." It came to a head one night when alarms blared, an intruder at the gate, caught with a USB drive full of encrypted plans. Richard's doing, no doubt. James faced him down at the gate, voice like steel. "You come for my family, you lose everything." Richard just smirked, peeling off into the night, but we had him cornered. The next day, headlines screamed his downfall, proof of his payoffs, and plots splashed everywhere. He was done, or so we thought. But as I tucked Sophie into bed that night, her music box playing its soft lullaby, I saw a flicker outside the camera lens glinting in the dark. Richard wasn't gone. He was watching, waiting. We turned the estate into a fortress, but the real fight was in our hearts. James started showing up, really showing up for Sophie, reading her stories, laughing with her in the garden. One night, by the fireplace, he took my hand. "Ellie, you're not just Sophie's anchor. You're ours." I felt my walls crack, letting in a warmth I hadn't dared hope for. We opened the estate for a community picnic, Sophie running through the roses she'd planted for her mom, her laughter healing us all. James stood up, voice steady. This house isn't about wealth, it's about family, about rising above hate. The crowd cheered, and for a moment, we believed we'd won. But as the stars came out, I found a note slipped under my door. This isn't over. My stomach dropped. Was Richard really done, or was someone else pulling strings? Could we ever be free? I don't know, but I know this. We'll face it together, no matter what's coming. What do you think? Can love and grit really beat a world stacked against you? Drop a comment, tell me where you're watching from, and let's talk about it. Have you ever fought for family like this? I'm all ears.